And hello and welcome, one and all. Credence and Bishop Show here with you, myself, Credence, and Mikey, getting ready for a big old interview, Mikey.
Oh my goodness, I know it's a little earlier than expected, but we are here and ready to serve and do what we must to strive and continue on, pushing forward into the endless boundaries that we know of our mind.
Well put, sir.
By the way, I smell it barbecue.
Do you? What, you been barbecuing today?
I've been cooking, I'm making pulled pork for dinner. So
I would imagine not the lazy way that I do it, which is buy a crock pot, throw it in the crock pot, let it sit there all day and sauce, and it turns out great though. It's just really
look, I do it that way too, but I put on my own spices and herbs and things like that, and at the end I pull it, as they say, and I put it on a pan and put it back in the oven and crisp it up a little bit. Then douse it a little more vinegar.
All right. Okay. I like that. Hey, I found a great sauce while we were on vacation this week, and I hope that it's close to what we saw at a restaurant. I don't know if I told you this. So they gave you two options of sauces when it came out to you. And I always go with the vinegar based, of course.
Of course.
I love that, right? The other one just looked like ketchup. So later on in the meal, I discovered that the ketchup-based sauce was actually extremely vinegary, if that's a word.
Yeah.
And it was fantastic. Anyway, so one of these gift shops in Chimney Rock yesterday had I think it was called East versus West or something. I don't remember what it was, but anyways, it's vinegar-based and tomato-based. So we'll see how that pans out. I'm hoping that it's kind of close.
Did you see Jason Momoa while you were there?
What? No. Who did?
Aquaman. He was there in Maggies Valley this weekend, hanging out with his family.
Oh yeah, that's right over not too far at all from where we were.
Yeah,
we were right in Lake Lure, which is real close to Chimney Rock. I've never been in that area at all, so it was really cool. I get, how much I love Tennessee, and through that area. This is pretty cool. Very nice area. And best of all, 2 hours and 5 minutes for us from the house. So
you and your millionaire mansions that you stay at in the mountains.
That was a nice place. There was 10 of us, though. We needed a big one.
That was enormous, though. That was gigantic.
Oh, it was big. It was perfect. Having that golf cart, though, to go down to the resort was really cool. We really enjoyed that. Yeah, it was a good time, except it rained all day. When we got there, it was wet and kind of misting a little bit. All day Friday, though. And when I say all day, I mean all the way in through the evening. It was raining. And then because you're in this resort's on a mountain, you're tucked away in the mountain. And so it's like the rainforest for the next 12 hours. Everything's wet.
You said the resort was the same place where they film Dirty Dancing?
Yeah, so they do a Dirty Dancing festival every single year, and I was reading a lot about how unfortunate it was they had to cancel the festival this year. But and I guess they didn't just do shots there. It was one of the main places for like the dancing scene, and I guess the last 17 minutes. Which is very important for the movie, I guess. I don't really.
Oh yeah, that's the whole build. That's the everything.
Yeah. But so that was kind of neat. And then and I got to do some reading around Chimney Rock. Lots of Sasquatch and that kind of apparel around. So I want to learn the folklore of that area as far as that goes.
Well, of course, next month we have a Bigfoot expert coming on, so we'll have you'll have to have those questions ready. Yes, she will. By the way, she will be ready. Oh my God, I can't believe you judging that. It had to be a man.
So sexist.
You are. I can't believe that. But I digress. So, is there a statue of Patrick Swayze like in the area because it's such an iconic place?
I'll tell you, a lot of the restaurants you go to and a lot of the little shops and stuff that you go to, you'll see some pictures and information about it. A lot of information in the literature, the freebie books, but not a whole lot. And I'll tell you, the biggest reason is they used to have an area that was open to the public, which was a house and some other thing that was very important to the movie. And since last, I don't know how long, quite a while. That's all been closed private property now. And so I guess that kind of took a little bit away from that. But that lake up there, Lake Lure, is awesome. The resort, I don't really play tennis, pickleball, or golf.
So is the lake that's in Dirty Dancing, is that Lake Lure?
That is, yeah, that is Lake Lure, which I believe is the largest man-made lake. Well, just absolutely beautiful. They're just surrounded by mountains everywhere you look. But yeah, it was really cool. And it was weather, even though it rained, it was just nice to be gone and be in some cool weather. Went to an apple orchard. That was fun. Picking apples.
That sounds awful.
No, it was a good day because they had a hot dog vendor there with fantastic hot dogs. We were just hungry. The line to get into the bakery out front to get their donuts, Emily's father waited over an hour, about an hour and a half total. The entire time that we were there picking apples, doing a bunch of activities on property, just before we went into the Chick-fil-A corn maze.
All right.
What happened there? You all right?
No, you go ahead and keep talking.
You're an earthquake?
Earthquake.
Is that a 2.1?
It's an earthquake.
It's an earthquake.
It's an earthquake.
Gotcha. But anyways, yeah, so that lake was really cool though. We really had a good time.
Fishing, hunting?
No. Only activities I did, surprisingly enough, was played checkers. I didn't do any swimming. They had like 3 pools.
I mean, that is a sport to you, checkers. I mean,
absolutely. We had a nice pool table, used that a bit. Did a lot of drinking though, a lot more than normal for me. I kind of wait until vacation to do any drinking. So that was nice. Activities as far as eating, did lots of that. No, but when we're at the Apple thing, actually was fun. That's not something that I typically would go and do anyways. So, new for me.
New for you, but you didn't tell me what her dad stood in line for. Now I have to know
donuts. Donuts, yeah, the bakery had the
regular
cinnamon,
donuts.
Well, I mean, they're just regular old man cake donuts, which I like. But with a little cinnamon sugar. That's about it.
Were they worth an hour wait, do you think?
Oh, I don't think so. I wouldn't have waited at all. And then I was pissed. The only cider that they had available after you waited in a half an hour line to do that was hot. And it was not super hot there, but it was hot enough to where you don't want hot cider. So
hot cider.
Hot cider.
I like the cold. I like it to be in the fridge.
Well,
nice
of course,
and chill.
yeah. Oh, absolutely. But
what about you? What about Ace Austin? What does he think?
He's not there yet.
Oh no.
Yeah, close though.
Close. We're close.
Nice try. I would imagine so. I see Ross down there.
Maybe he is out getting some hot apple cider right now.
I'm glad you agree with me because I thought I was kind of crazy with I didn't want I mean, I just wanted cider and donuts, but not hot cider in the middle. I don't know. They had one of those big launching guns. I think I've explained it before. Like I had this big PVC pipe gun with a trigger on it, which is a barbecue grill.
Right.
And you'd open up the back of it. We'd be by the crabapple trees. You'd open up the back of it and spray Aquanet in there, close it up real quick, and it would, and shoot, I don't know how low, very far.
Why Aquanet? Could we use a different hairspray? Or is it?
I don't know. I mean, Aquanet
is an old lady dollar store.
Well, that's first of all, that's one of the best things. You could get it for back in the day, it was like 90 something cents. So you weren't wasting too much. And have you ever taken Aquanet and just put a lighter in front of it? I mean, it's a nice looking torch.
Yeah. And don't do that at home, children. That is awful.
By the way, do not do that. But they had one of those set up, which was really cool. And it was 4 shots for $1, and you shot it over a pond to a big ass billboard. But anyways, we've got Ace. If he's ready, we'll bring him on.
Ace,
I think so. Yeah, thumbs up. There he is.
A true heel. He comes in late. He comes fashionably late. I mean, I appreciate it. It builds the anticipation, as they say.
That's right on time for us.
Yes, we're always late. So kudos to you for even making it. What are you up to, man? what's going on? You in your living room? What is that behind you there? Is that a
Yeah. This is the old
skull?
living room. Oh, this is a sweet. It's on this side. This is a really sweet picture I found at a Five Below by the mall. Yeah, I walked in there. The first thing I saw was $5. It lights up. Hold on, let me turn this light off. You get the full effect.
Kill it. Let's see it.
Cool.
Oh
Nice.
my!
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Was it 5 or below? Which one was it?
It was 5. Now what's
It
wrong
was-
with this?
Now you've blown the light.
There we go.
Look at you.
Yeah, it was $5, and when I saw the color was purple, I was sold immediately. I had to buy it.
Man, I've been sitting around this past weekend just binging on your work. And something I have to say right off the bat, you have some of the best kicks in the business. Crisp, athletic with each and every one. Innovative, some would say, possibly. I think it's safe to say your star and stock is on the rise. What do you think?
I definitely agree, and I have been told that by many other people as well. And
Yeah.
I
It's
take
true.
great pride in that. I throw those kicks. It's lethal.
Yeah. It's deadly intent with each one. And I was looking back at some of your stuff when you were in CZW. And I'm like, CZW is not a place where you would go if you are faint of heart or not a daredevil in a way, because I know you're into parkour and skateboarding and that kind of stuff. So you already have that risk factor there. At what point as a young man did you say, you know what, professional wrestling, that's the way to go?
That happened at about 4 years of age.
Oh, wow.
That was kind of that's like the memory the earliest memory I have of really falling in love with wrestling and kind of like making that decision. I didn't know like how to do it really. So I kind of thought it was something like, I'll figure it out when I get there. That's just kind of how I always was about it. And I told anybody that would listen growing up that I wanted to be a wrestler. And, and
they all laughed at you and said, that's never going to happen, kid.
Yeah, it never mattered what they had to say. That was just the choice. And then when I was in like middle school, I think I remember looking, we had to look up colleges for like a project or whatever. And I wasn't interested in college. So I was like, let me look up something that could maybe be similar. So I looked up like stuntman colleges. Okay. So I was thinking about maybe going to like a stuntman college and try to like work my way in that way. And then by the time I was in high school, it was about 16. That's when I learned that wrestling schools existed. And that's how I found the Wild Samoans out in Pennsylvania. And signed up, got trained, hit the road. My 10th match was actually at CZW Dojo Wars. My 10th. Only 10 matches in is when I ended up on CZW's doorstep. So that was so
what you're saying is it's God-given talent.
I have worked very hard, but it's always been in me, like there's never been a time where I thought that I couldn't.
I mean, at 4 years old, to know you wanted to do that and know that you had a passion and a love for it. What were you watching? What was going on? Like what had happened that made that click in your head though?
I can tell you the first, I remember me and my brother shared a room at the time. Our beds were on opposite sides of the room. It was my turn to have the remote control that night. So I was just flipping through the channels. We were trying to find something. And I remember coming across, I think it was TNT at the time, but I remember seeing Shawn Michaels just come off the top rope with the old elbow and like was captivated instantly. And
so you were watching at a very good time. I mean, that was a great time. Yeah. You being a young guy back then, you were watching.
My older brothers were also wrestling fans. So like it was definitely in my family, but that's the earliest memory I have of like really being like sold on it.
Okay, you have brothers. Does that mean there was any backyard wrestling?
More like living room wrestling. Well, no, actually I lied. Occasionally we did do some stuff in the yard, usually during the fall. When I was really young, we had a rather large house up in the mountains in Pennsylvania. And we had this big yard So we'd like rake the leaves up, and we used to play like these football games where the touchdowns would be the 2 piles of leaves on either end, and you kind of have to crash into the pile. So then, like when we got into wrestling, we started using the leaf piles. We'd jump off ladders into these pile of leaves.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a tip. This is what me and my friends used to do. We'd wait for my parents to leave the house, and we'd drag their brand new king size mattress from the living room into the backyard. And pray that they never saw the sweaty marks and grass and dirt that we had ground into it over the years. That's what we did.
We actually, I would take my mattress out of my room and bring it to the living room, and we'd put it between we'd put it on 2 dining room chairs to make a table. And we'd go through the mattress as the table set up.
That's awesome.
So you had that moment where you knew that you wanted to be a wrestler. I had a moment as a young, early teens. I knew I would never be a wrestler because I decided I was going to go outside. I took a big duffel bag, filled it full of like basketballs and soccer balls, and I put it out on this mattress. And we had an oil drum. I brought the oil drum over. I jumped off of it and landed flat on that big bag of balls. And oh, that sounded great. And needless to say, it knocked the air out of me. And I said, I would never do this again. And it was the last time I ever thought I could be a wrestler.
Ended your career early.
I was done. The business was over for me.
Wow.
So, I mean, it's one of those things. And I'm glad to hear that because a lot of times I get mad when I talk to someone and they said, well, you know, wrestling was like a second option because, you know, I couldn't play football anymore. So I decided I was going to come here. When you see a guy who was never into wrestling and just started doing it as a job compared to someone who got into wrestling because they loved it, you can see a little bit of a difference. You can kind of figure it out. So for you to say that, that means a lot. That means the business is going to continue to grow and have that talent, that young, hot talent like yourself that's going to just keep running through and doing well. Also saw something about you jumping off a basketball hoop onto an opponent in the ring. Is that the craziest thing you jumped off of, a basketball hoop? What would you say the craziest thing was then?
Definitely not. When I walk into a venue, here's one of the things I love about like indie wrestling, especially. When I walk into a venue, the first thing I do is look around and figure out what I could probably jump off of.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
You pull the new jack. You walk in and decide, where's the craziest place I can just jump off of in here?
Yeah, probably. But probably the craziest was I'd probably say Ultimate X. I jumped off the scaffold, the structure of Ultimate X.
It was a lot higher.
Yeah, very much higher. The basketball hoop was a lot of fun. The only scary part about that was the distance to the ring, but I had it. When I went to Mexico for my first 2 tours, there was always some really crazy balconies in Mexico that we would jump out of. So yeah, I live for that.
Yeah, no fear. You're just jumping off things.
I'm trying to think. I'm relating that to like skateboarding. I'm wondering if that's a good thing or not. Like you've successfully done all of that. You think, I might be able to do that skating. Dropping off of crazy stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that's good or bad.
Yeah, that might even be where it came from skateboarding at an early age before I was a wrestler. You know, that was me and my friends would skate around town and just kind of spot things.
Oh yeah, you got to look. You got to look. You never know what the best. You can spend a whole day on one curb. You just never know. It could be that much fun. You know.
We had our spots. We actually made a spot Bible, a book where we
nice
spots that we take pictures of them.
Oh, I love that.
The spot Bible.
Yeah,
that's important. That's important. Otherwise, skating gets very boring just looking for places or getting kicked out of everywhere. That's what we always got.
Everywhere. Yep. Same thing with us.
I know I don't have a lot of time with you today because I know you're a busy, busy man. You got all kinds of things happening and whatnot. But there are a couple things I want to run through real quick. You and Fulton, tag team champions. How long? How long you got? You think before you're tag team champs?
Let's see. It took me 8 months inside of Impact Wrestling to become X Division champion, and since then the momentum.
Oh, you should be world champion right now.
Absolutely.
You should be the youngest world champion.
We've still got till February to be the youngest. All right, that's why when I say it's inevitable, I mean it's only a matter of time. So
just a matter of time.
It's going to happen. I mean, right now, me and Fulton are definitely the #1 contenders because I did indeed pin the Motor City Machine Guns. So,
I mean, they got to give you your dues, man. I mean, come on, stay on them. Say, look, let's get it done. Let's get these straps around my waist.
We're gonna go through the North on Tuesday night, and we'll see where we go from there.
So, do you want to go ahead and tell me who attacked Eddie Edwards? You want to spoil that for me? Let me know who attacked him. Were you around? Did you see anything at the end of Impact? Where were you at the time, by the way?
Where was I at?
Yeah, where were you?
I was with Fulton.
Sure, you were.
You could ask him, but I don't know if he'd be too keen on your question.
Oh, well, I'll go ahead and spoil it. I'll let you know. I was the one that attacked Eddie Edwards. That's right. It was me all along, Austin. I did it. I was the one. No, but
man.
You never know. You never know. And that's the great thing about Impact. I've loved them since the TNA days. I mean, all kinds of great talent come through. Creed, that wrestling show we did was a TNA show where I was out in the back drinking a beer with Samoa Joe and Earl Hebner, which was a awesome evening. Great guys. But I digress into, I know I need to let you go. Halloween's coming up. What is your costume? What are you going to be?
I'm probably going to go full Gambit this year.
Ooh. Come on now.
No doubt. I'm probably going to go full Gambit. Keep an eye out.
I need to know one thing. Favorite skateboarder or biggest influencer on your side of things?
Mike Vallely.
Awesome. Gotcha.
Yeah, he was my favorite.
Well, I know you have a lot of other stuff to do. I'm going to cut it short and let you out, but only because I know you'll come back and you'll talk to us a little more. And I've got tons of questions and more things I need to know about you. The next superstar coming up, the biggest thing, the next youngest world champion right here, Ace Austin. Make sure you catch him tomorrow night on Impact right there on Access TV. Thank you, Ace.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Awesome. Thanks, Ace. Have a good one, man.
You too.
Very cool.
I forgot you were a skateboarder, by the way.
Yeah, no, I wanted to talk. I didn't want to step. I didn't want to step on you. Too many skateboarding things. I don't get a chance to talk skateboarding very often.
Mikey is the kind of guy. Look, see, it says 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock. Boom.
I know.
We're done. I got I got to hang in there. Let my show everybody. Legend's a professional.
He can keep to a time. Listen, he understands a hard start. He understands it.
That's right. Hard start and a harder finish. But I had a book over here of questions to ask Ace. And hopefully we'll be able to do a lot more stuff with the great people over at Impact Wrestling.
That's awesome.
Make sure they also have a pay-per-view coming up next month, Bound for Glory. I believe it's on the 24th of October. So if you want to find out why Mikey was so high on Ace Austin, get your ass on over tomorrow night. We're not going to be on. You know what we're going to be doing? We're going to be watching Impact Wrestling right there.
8 o'clock p.m.
8 o'clock on the East Coast. 5 o'clock.
That would be Eastern Standard Time, not European time.
Not European time, like I was told the other day.
Real quick, just because you brought it up, and then we'll cut it. But you brought up that night with TNA.
Yeah.
That was really awesome how that came about. I also remember standing back there having very good conversations behind the scenes. I don't even know if I went out and even watched a match because I was so busy talking to everybody backstage.
I know me and Bishop sat in the entranceway, basically on the inside of the barricade, so that we were like the wrestlers are walking by. It was awesome. Who are these guys?
Yeah, it was really cool.
Got full access to everything. It was a great night. I mean, I got to, I got to share a beer with Samoa Joe and Earl Hebner in the back. I got to watch Rhino argue with someone on the telephone. So I mean, it was a great thing. Get to see AJ Styles work. I mean,
Andrew, you've even got a DVD of it.
I know. Me and my sons watch it like 10 times now.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
it was a lot of fun. Did we ever get up? We got up in the ring, didn't we? And
we actually got you and Bishop got into the ring.
I thought so.
Me and the pastor went around the outside of the ring as we threw out stuff.
That's cool. Yeah, it was a fun night. I still remember it a lot. But anywho, well, that's awesome. Ace Austin, very cool guy. I enjoyed that. I even got to talk a little bit of skating. But well, we appreciate you joining us. Coming up next, what do we got coming up next? The show on Wednesday. All right, brand new show, brand new episode of the Credence of Bishop Show coming up Wednesday night, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. That's when we go live.
Don't forget Thursday night. We got Joey Z from Life of Agony. That should be a huge. I mean, there's a lot of talk online about it. He doesn't do a lot of interviews, and so this is going to be definitely something that fans of Life of Agony are really going to see.
Awesome. That's on Thursday night.
Yeah, I heard that he may even have his guitar with him. Who knows?
Oh, that'd be cool.
Who knows?
I like that. Hopefully, at some point, Bish gets 2 seconds to do a lottery thing because we had a $200 winning session last week.
I didn't want to say anything, but Bishop was buying a lot of stuff this weekend.
All right.
I think he blew through the money, and he just don't want to tell you.
Probably. I wouldn't doubt that a bit. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. All right. Well, thank you again to Ace Austin from Impact Wrestling. Make sure to tune in again on Access TV, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that's tomorrow, right? Monday.
Tomorrow, every Tuesday.
Awesome. All right, Mike, you have a good one. See you Wednesday then.
Absolutely.
And everybody else, barring any one last thing, car chase that we missed yesterday ended with, I believe, him striking a pedestrian or getting into a really bad accident. I haven't. Just saw the tweets after the fact. I was a half an hour late because, again, in the mountains, 0 service.
Right.
Well, maybe 2% service. It was really bad, but we missed a good one. But so, barring any action like that, we'll be back Wednesday night with you. Thank you guys for joining us, and